what have this and this and this and this and this got in common? They're all part of the Diamond Race Circuit here at the Isle of Wight. I hope he's sticking to the speed limit. Bloody motorcyclists.
I'm Steve from BikeSocial. This is Simon Hargreaves.
How do?
And this is the Isle of Wight. The Isle of Wight doesn't have a mountain, but as of yesterday, it does have plans to run a road race, a road motorcycle race. And bizarrely enough, I heard the announcement yesterday morning. Si heard the announcement yesterday morning. I think both of us had exactly the same thought. We went, let's go ride it.
And here we are.
Yeah, they announced the course, and yeah, here we are. And it's sunshine, and we've done kind of got down here to where we think this area where we are now is going to be where the paddock is going to be. They've shown the map, shown the route of the lap. We're going to go and do a few laps in a few minutes and see what we think. But it's a really interesting idea, isn't it?
It's a fascinating idea. I mean, it's so ambitious. It's like it's like a dream almost, isn't it? You know, every year you go to the TT and you go to the Isle of Man, and it's this little island floating in the sea. It's its own little eco-verse of motorcycle heaven, isn't it? You turn up there and the place is just, it is like motorcycling heaven. Everyone's happy to see you, and it's a wonderful atmosphere, and it's a great thing. And I don't know about you, but I've always thought, wouldn't it be great if we could have a road race on the mainland or somewhere else other than the TT? And here we are, somebody's actually gone and done it, which is incredible, on another island, admittedly.
Yeah. But it's a really ambitious plan, I think, for them to do it. But they put together a really good presentation. We saw a video yesterday of Steve Plater and James Hillier riding around the course and talking about it. Steve Plater has been involved, and I think James as well, in mapping out the circuit. So they're going about this in the right way.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a certain sort of, there's a level of kudos to it. Some of the names, like the Neil Tuxworth is involved, and Steve Plater's involved, and it was ironically seems to have been sort of set up originally. The original idea came from two British touring car drivers. But yeah, so there's kind of an irony there. But the names have got a little bit of legitimacy to them, haven't they? They've got some weight. So maybe this might actually happen. We don't want to mention the other road race a few years ago that never happened in Wales. This is nothing to do with those guys. It's a completely separate operation.
Yeah. And they're talking about having it at the end of the year in October. The first one hopefully next year, October 21, which is sort of right between they're looking at the end of the BSB season, I think, and when all the road races go off to Macau. So there's an opportunity for those guys to get a bit of practice, get their eye in, and yeah, it seems like a great idea.
It seems like a great idea. I understand why they've chosen October, but a little part of me says, couldn't it have been September at least, or even better, now spring starts in sort of March. Couldn't it have been April or something? You have to wonder what the weather's going to be like in October. I'm sure that there'll be sunny days in October, and that's just the first of many, many questions. There are, I've got questions about how they're going to get the marshals and how they're going to pay for the whole thing, and is it really, really going to happen? I mean, it still seems a bit of a pipe dream to me. Yeah, and
how are we going to not call it the TT?
Yeah,
because the official name is the Isle of Wight Diamond Races. And they're talking about setting the riders off one by one, so it's going to be a time trial, even if it's not a tourist trophy.
Yeah, it's the TT of sorts, isn't it? Yeah.
And maybe because it's the Isle of Wight, maybe they'll call it the regatta. Who knows? Anyway, that's probably enough of us talking about this. Should we go off and ride it?
Yes, let's go do a lap. Okay, here we are then on the Diamond Races circuit we've just left what looks like the paddock, and so there's a dinosaur there. So we're just doing our first few miles. Chale, there we go. Now it's called the Chale Circuit, I believe. So I'm guessing we want to be turning left here. So they're going to be racing around here. Nice lamppost for them there. Past the churchyard and the cemetery. We're still in a 30 zone, so we have to watch the speed a little bit. So here we go. It's looking. This is looking very narrow. We're going to be a bit of overtaking, but funneled off there by that stone wall. This is. Wow, this is narrow. Nice bit of a camber drop off there as well. Into this run here, we're still in a 30 zone, so keep the speed down. Wow, they're going to be threading it through here. So this is sort of the southern part of the circuit. Again, we're not entirely sure at this stage where the start-finish line is going to be, but we're assuming it's somewhere back along the military road, which it looks like the paddock is going to be right at the end of the military road. So that first turn will be the effectively the first sort of major corner, I think, that the racers will get to. Wow, this is going to be something else. Have we actually taken the right turning? I've got to admit, if you grew up watching V for Victory with Joey Dunlop and Steve Hislop's lap of the TT, then this sort of road, for me anyway, is sort of the sort of road that I used to ride around as a kid, dreaming of racing around. So the idea of actually racing around it, it actually makes my blood run cold, because this is, I mean, here we go, look into another 30. I mean, wow, look at this. I mean, I love the challenge of plotting a course through this lot, but I wouldn't really fancy the idea of racing down it. Going as fast as I can is one thing, but racing along here, wow, amazing. I mean, you know, full credit to the team that are trying to put this together, because if they pull it off, it really will be something else. It'll be spectacular in a way, I think, you know, maybe even more so in some respects than the TT, because this circuit is so different. I mean, this is a really cool opening here. I think it's more like, it's about space really. I think the thing about the TT is that for all of its sort of corners and its gnarliness, it's actually fairly, the road is usually fairly wide comparatively. But some of that stuff back there, I think we have to turn off here looking at it. We're going to Shorewell, so yes. So here we go, they're going to have to come around here. There's a lot of furniture that could, road furniture that could do with moving, I've got to admit. So they're going to come flying up here. There's a bit of handlies there, back to the other way around. Oh wow, look at this, and then whoa! Yeah, extraordinary stuff. So full credit to the team who are trying to put it together. It's a big ask. I mean, look at these houses with these residents. I mean, you know, we've met a few guys already. I've got to be fair, slightly more mature guys, and they are bang up for it. Hello, what's going on here? That's a marshal post. And oh, and the look at this. Lovely job. So yeah, so we've met a few guys, and they're sort of the more mature islanders, and we've met a few of them. We've met literally 3 of them, and they are all up for it. Oh, here we go, national speed limit, that'll do. Let's get a bit of speed up and a bit of wind noise. All up for it, all really excited, all asking the same question: is it really going to happen? It's like, well, you tell me, I don't know. Oh, this is going to be so cool riding along here. Yeah, this is going to be really, really something else. Oh, I think we have to come down here. Yeah, looks like we have to turn off here. Behind a tractor, yay! Not sure how many of these there are going to be. Hopefully, none at all. Ah, now this is a section of the course. I don't know what's he motioning to us. This section of the course is under quite a lot of tree cover. Now, come October, is he going to let us through there? Oh, thanks, mate. Cheers. I wonder if the riders are going to have a sat nav. I wonder if any of them will take a wrong turning. Right. Now what are we doing with this fella here? I think this gives a really good illustration, partly of how dull it is to ride behind farm traffic. It's also a really good illustration of how narrow this is. Can we come past, mate, do you reckon? No, not today. Wow. I mean, certainly this time of year, look at that. It doesn't really look like England. It looks like the Americas or something. Okay, so if a car can get past, why won't he let us pass? Can I slide past here, mate, do you reckon? Possibly? Thanks, pal. Welcome to the Isle of Wight. Thank you very much, sir. Cheers. Wow. They are going to race 200 horsepower superbikes along here. Whoa! Get that front wheel down. Hit the brakes. Skim the hedge. Don't go in the front garden. Do you know, one of the really interesting things is that all the riders are going to be starting from a blank slate. So I'm sure people will be coming over for a bit of extra practice. But nothing's going to prepare you for the first time around here. And they're all starting from zero. So that's going to be really interesting. See, to get a sort of see who learns the circuit the quickest. We're coming into Shorewell. 30 miles an hour, please. So tight, so narrow. I mean, you know, you are going to have to get a lot of buy-in from the residents to agree. I mean, I know it's only a couple of days. It's not like a 2-week festival. Sure. I mean, look at this. They're racing around here. Oh, jeez. Yeah, a lot of buy-in for people to keep off the roads, keep the car. I mean, they've got to get... The thing about the TT is that the Manx residents, even if they don't agree with the racing, they're well versed, hopefully, how to prepare for it in terms of livestock, animals, pets, keeping everything off the circuit, keeping the roads closed, understanding the importance of certain behaviours, and you need the islanders here to have that same level of understanding. So they're coming around here as well. So they're going to be apexing here, oh, lovely, and whoops-a-daisy. I mean, negotiate that if you don't mind. Extraordinary. Yeah, they're going to need the islanders to really buy in, not just in the kind of the sense of, yeah, we're happy for it, but to understand and behave and carry out the actions, take the actions that are needed for safe racing. That's going to take an awful lot of persuasion, an awful lot of education, really. But then, you know, as has been pointed out, it's not the first time the island's had huge events. They had 500,000 people here for a music festival once. Wow. Badgers for 1 mile. See, you have to keep badgers off the circuit. Do you know what? I think a perfect lap round here is nigh on impossible. But a good lap round here would just be unbelievable. Look, you can see the sea. Yeah, a good lap round here will leave you feeling like nothing else. It is pretty extreme. And it's pretty. It's a lovely island. It hasn't quite got the topography of the Isle of Man. It hasn't got a snaefell, limestone. Yeah, it hasn't got a snaefell. But it has got some real challenges. Yeah, we can straight line this section nicely. That'll be lovely. And then, hello, there's a house in the way. Whoa, look at that camber dropping away there. Woo! Well, I can see the sea, so I'm guessing we're getting close to the military road again, which is the sort of the main straight, the main strip. It looks fast. It looks as fast as anything you get at the TT. But it has got a couple of kinks in it, which will be interesting. Wow, this will be so quick. There's a few wheelie crests on this circuit as well. Looks like there was one just there where you could get the front wheel up. Bright stone. And another set of corners. I mean, God, look how it funnels you down into this. Wow, that's going to be amazing at race pace. And then I think we need to just turn down here. I mean, it's crazy, doesn't it? It's like, they're going to race around these roads? I believe this is the plan. I wonder how many marshals they're going to need. And where they're going to get the marshals from. I'm not sure what the ratio is of marshals to mainlander marshals at the TT. Again, they're going to need some expertise. Because again, you can't really rely on locals unless they've got, you know, some really awesome training. Oh wow, look at this. Do you know what? I wouldn't want to ride a super bike round here, but a super twin would be good fun. Ah, so now here we go. So we're coming in now, back onto the military road, the main road. I mean, jeepers, look at that. Whoa. So come race day, literally going to be swinging out and back onto this, which is the military road. Hopefully we won't have to give way for traffic. Let's go. Oh, look at this. This is some sensation of speed with a corner. Hey! And this is where they're really going to be able to open up. Wow. And we're stuck at 60 miles an hour. But a superbike's going to be flat as you like down here. With just enough bends in the road to keep it interesting. you look at this crest over the top. Whoa, completely blind. Apexing just on the inside there, drifting out, and then over another blind crest. I imagine the superbikes will be fighting to keep the front down on that bit. It's just incredible. And then this view in front of you with the sea and the cliffs. I mean, wow. Tucked in, flat in top, howling down here. Imagine the noise. Do you know what? If they actually manage to pull this off, it's a really good time to buy a house on the Isle of Wight on the circuit, especially one with multiple bedrooms that you can open up. Wow. And just in case you get bored of riding flat out, check this kink. Whoa! The road surface is immaculate. This section is beautifully tarmacked. I mean, the whole thing is pretty good. This is something else. I don't suppose the racers will have time to admire the view, but it is a really lovely view. So now I think we're approaching where we think the start and finish line is going to be. I mean, I think this military road is a good 5 or 6 miles long. And I wonder what the average lap speed is going to be, because this section will certainly raise the average speed. And then we've got a sneaky feeling that this is the start-finish line. Well, that was our first ever lap of the, what do we call it, the Diamond race,
not TT
circuit. What did you make of that, Steve?
I thought it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. It's a great road to bike round. Full respect for the people that are going to race around there. It's very different to the TT, isn't it? It's very different to the Isle of Man circuit.
Yes.
It felt like it was closer to those kind of Irish road race, the kind of the scaries, those kind of circuits. Really narrow, really technical.
It's got a real twin character to it, hasn't it? You've got that sort of the military road, which is just like jet black tarmac, and it's beautiful and straight, and it's really open, seriously fast, with that kink in the middle. It's going to be scary stuff. And then you've got this back section of the circuit that's, I mean, it is, I mean, at least at the TT, when you ride around some of the sort of the back stretches like Glen Helen, and the road's quite wide still. It might be tight and twisty, but there's width there. There's no width in some of these places. It's just really tight hedgerows, and you couldn't fit two bikes side by side at race pace, not a chance. And there's quite a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, I honestly thought the last section that we did I thought you'd taken a wrong turning when we came down that,
Yes.
that last road, and it was so narrow. And so,
I need to check to make sure I didn't. I'm pretty sure I didn't because I recognised there's a bit where you go down, there's some cedars or something on one side. It looks really sort of arid and dry, and you're thinking, this must be wrong. It's got to be wrong.
Yeah, but even on that bit, the road surface is really lovely, and it's you know, it's the surfaces and that kind of will be what catch you out, will they? But there's a lot to learn in terms of not just the way the track goes, but the cambers and where you can and where you can't go. And there's not, there might look to be an obvious line, but that might not be.
That's not the quickest line. No, yeah, you're right, because something might be. I mean, there's some really complex corners, and there is some. Yeah, the changes of camber are quite extreme. Yeah. Where you come into a village and there's a T-junction, and you like turn off, and you're thinking, this can't be. How are they going to marshal this? I mean, there's so much sort of distance that hasn't got any obvious, not even turnings or side roads or anything. It's like, how are they going to marshal that?
Yeah.
I mean,
and there's a couple of corners where you are literally heading for a cottage, aren't you?
Yes, and it's like right in front of you,
90 degrees. And I was wondering how a circuit like this, it's a new circuit, how do they name the corners? What do they do to name the corners on this? It's because there's no heritage yet, so do you go for that kind of, do you go for the full-on, this is what they feel like, and you call it the sphincter clencher, or you call it the sea god and break, or whatever, or do you just call it Brian and John and
John? There's Jeremy over there, yeah. I don't know, and the thing is, every rider's going to come up with their own name for every corner, aren't they? So it's going to be, I was going around St John's, and you're going, where? What? Oh, you mean bum clencher? That one, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty hectic. That is an insane lap. So that's like 12 miles we've just done. Yeah. And it's taken us 21 minutes or so at a completely legal pace. Yeah. Do you want to go and have another go?
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot to learn. Right, let's go and have a look.
To say, yeah, but hopefully all the bikers are behind it over here.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we spoke to residents who were behind it as well.
Yeah.
But they all said the same thing: is it going to happen?
Yeah.
And it was like, we're not sure.
Oh well.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Oh, look, see you October next year.
Yeah, definitely. See you later.
Save us some room.